Hello. Welcome to Reinvention Made Simple Daily. And I'm sharing that today because for the longest time, we have been calling these sessions Reinvention Saturdays, specifically the ones that happen on Saturdays. We've been calling them Reinvention Saturdays. And together with my team, we kind of were looking at our products and looking at our strategy and looking at ways to serve you better. And we were thinking about why is it session called Reinvention Saturdays? It's mainly because it happens on Saturdays, but we teach on a daily basis on how to reinvent yourself. And at the very beginning, we had started a program that was called Reinvention Made Simple Daily. And we made a decision to just go back to calling this show in itself Reinvention Made Simple Daily, because that is what that is the intention of this show. To make reinvention simple daily. You're navigating your reinvention journey on a daily basis. And as you navigate that journey, every day, there is what is required of you. And so in my teaching, coming alongside you every single day at 1:30 p.m. East African time, it's an opportunity for me to really connect with you and share insights that will give you the wisdom, the awareness, and the ahas that are required as you navigate your reinvention journey. So here it is. We're moving from the Reinvention Saturdays to Reinvention Made Simple Daily. Look at the top right corner of that screen and you will see our new logo, Reinvention Made Simple Daily. It's been there and we just want to continue in that just to ensure that there is a streamline in our branding. So thank you so much for joining us, and we welcome you and invite other people every Saturday, every Monday, every day from 1:30 p.m. East African time. Monday, Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Friday. If it's a day, Sunday to Sunday at 1:30 p.m. East African time, we're coming to you live as we talk about reinvention and one aspect or the other. So thank you. And please get the word around. Today we're talking about persistence, and persistence is the antidote to failure. Persistence is the antidote to failure. We are starting this teaching from this premise that you have a dream. You have a strong desire to be, do, have, whatever it is that you sense strongly is rightfully yours. And in that standing point, you're moving from where you are here today to where you want to go there, where you are the person who does the things that are required to have what it is that you believe is possible for you. And so this is your departure point. This is your departure point. And that place in the future is your arrival point. Okay? So there's a departure point here today where I am, and there is an arrival point where I have achieved the results, the goals that I have envisaged and believe that is possible for me. My dream life, the impact, the income that I believe is possible for me and through me. That is the arrival point you've achieved there. So there's a journey that you're going to have to travel from here where you are to there. Departure point, arrival point. And so if you think about the journey that is in between here, number one, we call that as the justification for leadership. You leading yourself on a day-to-day basis, you taking the necessary steps to achieve and arrive at this destination, which is your arrival point. That is the justification for leadership. The gap between here and there. The gap between here and there is the justification for leadership. And we talk about this in our sessions, and I share this, that leadership happens in moments. It's not about titles, position, authority. It's about happening and showing up in moments to create those desired outcomes. Bob Anderson describes leadership as the deployment of self into circumstance. Into circumstance to do what? To arrive at your arrival point. So moving from here, your departure point to your arrival point. And that is the lens from which I want us to look at this teaching on persistence. Persistence. Now, many people are determined. Many people are determined, but very few are persistent. Now, what is the difference between the two? People who are determined have got this great willpower to step into an assignment, to do what is required to achieve what it is that they want. But they are determined to go as far as they can for as long as they are not failing. They're determined to go as far as they can, so long as the failure has not become too much. And that's why most people always quit 3 feet from gold. They had determination to dig and to dig and to dig and to dig and to dig. And they beat their chest and they wake up the following morning and they dig and failure comes. And that takes them down, but after a couple of days, they charge themselves up like this battery and they get back onto the scene and they play and they play and they play and they engage, and then boom, life gives them a pop quiz. They go down and they start to rethink this idea and say, oh, let me give it one more chance. Let me give it one more hit. And they step into it. And if failure knocks them, they say, okay, I've done everything that I could do. You guys saw it. I spent the time. I did the thing. And it's not working. I don't think this is for me. And they move on, having quit 3 feet from gold. Now, the teaching of today is so important because the principle of persistence, matter of fact, outlined by Napoleon Hill as the 8th step toward riches, is a requirement if you are going to reinvent yourself for impact and for income. If you're going to achieve that which you so believe is rightfully yours, you're going to have to be persistent. So how different is persistence from determination? Very simple. Persistence does not recognize failure. Persistence does not recognize failure. Persistence says, I will go until I get it. I will go and do what is required, pay every price until I get it. This is reinforced commitment, reinforced zeal. And as a hurricane gains momentum and speed, as it turns around, persistence in the same way builds a momentum and a rhythm and a vibration and a power and a snowballing effect that literally squashes failure. Failure will come. But what failure does to the persistent person, is not what it does to the person with determination. To the persistent person, they see failure, open it up like a pea pod, and find what is the seed of opportunity inside this failure? What is the lesson inside this failure? And being able to pick up that seed and to plant that seed again, re-enter the scene to create the results that they want. Not recognizing failure at all, but understanding that there is a requirement in the process of creating an outcome to learn what one has not learned in order to create the outcomes that they need to get, the outcomes they know are possible. So persistence is different from determination. Many people are determined, and I noticed that it's same for me. I was very determined. I was determined to go up to failure, maybe number 6, number 7. And normally when we look at someone who can go to failure number 8 or number 9 or number 10, we say they are persistent. But they stop at number 10. They're slightly more determined than you are. They're not persistent. Persistence is doing it when every condition and circumstances says otherwise. Persistence is sticking with it, whether it looks like it's working or it's not working. That's persistence. And it is the antidote to failure, because anytime you start something, you don't know enough to create the results that you want. You are not working with the principles that have been put in place for the creation of that outcome. Sometimes you're oblivious to the gestation period, the law that governs how much time it takes between a seed goes into the ground and a root goes down, a shoot comes up, and then later it produces a fruit. We're oblivious of that gap, that time inside there. And for every outcome, for every result, there is a gestation period. We know for humans, it's 40 weeks. We know for mammals. We know for cows. we know for seeds. So persistence is going in and staying in there, even if the circumstances are saying otherwise. You stick with it. Are you persistent or are you determined? Because determination could take you somewhere, but determination is not going to give you the results that you want in your life. Now, I want to talk to you about five variables out of eight. 5 variables out of 8 that are required for one to become persistent. So that we're just not talking about this in the air. You know, we need to put some context to this. Persistence is not stupidity. Persistence is having a definite purpose. That is the outcome that I must create. This is the reason for why I'm doing this. So that's variable number 1. Why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you showing up every day to do the thing? Definite purpose is required. Number 2 is a desire. Having a clear picture of what could be and a possibility is not enough. You need to have a strong desire. And a desire here is that burning desire, an all-consuming obsession to manifest whatever it is that you sense could be manifested through you. That's the second variable. The third variable is self-reliance. That I am relying on factors that are within my control as I step into the game. A definite purpose, an all-consuming obsession, and now I'm self-reliant. Like, if it's up to me, this is what is my share of contribution to the outcome, the success that I want, I'm going to do it. And so this is not you relying on other people to make something happen. That's one of the key variables for persistence, that I am relying on factors that are within my control. I can influence or I can control those factors. That is number 3. Let's go to number 4. Number 4 is definite plans. You got to have definite plans. Persistence, again, I say, is not stupidity. It's not shooting from the hip and then hoping that things are going to work out somehow. No. In the process of creating the plan that you have, there is a definite plan of how am I going to move from my arrival point to my departure point? How am I going to go from here to there? What's the definite plan? What's the idea? And to the best of your knowledge, you work your plan. And that's persistence. I have a definite purpose. I have a strong desire to make this happen. A burning obsession, matter of fact. I am self-reliant. And number 4, I have definite plans. And then number 5, I have accurate knowledge. I have accurate knowledge of the industry, of the market, of the different factors that are at play in my industry, that as I step in to make something happen, I know I'll create the outcome that I want. So a definite purpose, one of the variables, okay, because persistence is not stupidity. Definite purpose, desire, self-reliance, definite plans, accurate knowledge. Let me give you the other 3. Cooperation with what? Cooperation with the principles. Cooperation with the principles that govern this God's universe that we live in. Cooperation with the principles of, the law of gender. Cooperation with understanding seed, time, and harvest as a principle that has been set out by God. And understanding that for every input, before I get the output, there is a gestation period. And so when I'm waiting with understanding. Have you ever seen a farmer who puts a seed into the ground and then 3, 4, 5 days later, he's wondering what's happening? You go dig it up and see if it's okay. You kill that. There's a process that's happening beneath the surface. And that cooperation, that waiting with understanding, is a key variable in the persistence journey. You're moving from here to there. And then number 7, willpower. Willpower is a key variable. Willpower is a key variable in stepping into creating those outcomes that you believe are possible for you. And willpower is powerful because willpower is your ability to hold your dream. Hold your dream to the exception of every other distraction. And just be like, no, those are distractions. This is my arrival point. This is my arrival point. And every day you show up and you pay the price. Every day you show up, you deploy yourself into circumstance, you make decisions, you pay the price, you do what is required, you do it. You have a definite plan, you have desire, you're self-reliant, you have definite plans, you have accurate knowledge, and now cooperation. You're working and understanding the principles that God has set out in the universe in creating the outcome that you want. And you're there every day, every day, every day. Willpower, willpower. Number 8, the last variable that I want to share with you here is habit. 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 That every day when you look at your day, you can see there are actions that you take in order for you to get to the outcome that you want. You do it every day, whether you feel like doing it, whether the evidence is there that it's happening, whether you can see the outcome that you believed is possible, you stay with it. Understanding that there are laws that govern the creation of every outcome, and you stay with it. Habit every day. So I want you to evaluate your life and say, what's my definite purpose? Where do I want to go? What is this picture of my desired future outcome? What is this impact and income? Income here, what's the number? What's that figure? Impact, what is that outcome? What is the promised transformation that you want to bring into people's lives? Articulate that. And then ask yourself, how badly do I want this? Am I willing to burn all bridges as I go towards creating this impact and outcome? That's variable number 2. And then ask yourself, am I relying on, what is it within my power to create this? Am I relying on myself? Am I relying on factors that are within my control, factors that I can influence, factors that I can influence, that I can control and I can influence? Am I relying on myself? And then number 4, ask, do I have definite plans? Do I have definite plans? And is my information accurate? Number 5. And so what are the laws that I'm going to need to work with as I create the outcomes that I want? Don't be ignorant to that. Because most people are not aware of those laws. Principles are few, but methods are many. And when we understand the principles, we're able to work in cooperation with them, because they are God's laws. He's not going to flout them. And you know what? They apply for a 2-year-old as they apply for a 200-year-old. Gravity doesn't respect age. Gravity does not respect your title. Gravity does not respect your level of awareness. Gravity is a law. If I hold something up like this and I let go, it's going to come down. Whether it's a leaf, whether it's a feather, or whether it's a 200-pound grown-up man. Same thing. It's going to come down. It's a law. And so working in cooperation with that law creates the outcomes that you want. So as you're being persistent, you're not being stupid. As you're being persistent, you're observing the laws and you're willingly cooperating with those laws in the process of creating the outcomes that you want. And then finally, your will, holding that image. Will here is going to be used in holding that image and that future and that arrival point. Seeing that income in your account number, seeing that impact that you're having, seeing that lifestyle, holding that image, and allowing no distraction to come in the way of that. And then finally, putting in place the habits on a daily basis. Every day. That's what you do. Even when it rains, you do it. When it shines, you do it. When it's funny, you do it. When it's sad, you do it. When it's Christmas, you do it. When it's your birthday, you do it. When you don't like it, you do it. And when you're committed, I'm going to do it. Not until I've failed enough. No, I'm going to do it until I arrive at my arrival point. Until I arrive at my arrival point. That's what I wanted to share with you here, my friends, today. Thank you so much for joining me on Reinvention Made Simple this day. We're talking about persistence as the antidote to failure. If you like more on this and other teachings that I do have on how to walk with a guide, how to walk with a coach, how to walk with someone who is your partner in belief, someone who's able to listen in to where you are and support you and serve you in a way that will help you get to where you need to go. I want you to write to me, reinvention@kamoye.com. Reinvention@kamoye.com. Write to me. And I'll reply to you and I'll share with you 2 ways that we can work together as I help you reinvent yourself for impact and income. A lot have gone before you, and I hope that you can join us on that journey of creating the impact that you know is possible for you and through you in this life. Continue to be persistent. I'll see you again tomorrow at 1:30. Blessings and bye for now.